In this video, I'm going to be basically breaking down the costs of camping for me. Since I do a sort of camping that's called solo camping, where I go camping solo myself, I'm just going to be breaking down the costs of what I have, my equipment, costs of like the campsites and where I've been to, the most expensive, the cheapest, and so on. So first off, for camping, you gotta need a tent, right? Let me just show you the tent that I have. I have an instant cabin 6-person tent. It's one of those ones with the poles that you lift up and it basically erects the tent for you. The reason why I chose the tent is because, as I said, I do solo camping, so I can't have a tent that's gonna require more than one person to set up. Another thing, it was light, easy to set up, and it could fit in my car. It wasn't too big, and also it was easy to access. I bought my tent from a Game. There's other places that also sell a tent, like you could also go to Macro and Outdoor Warehouse and stuff. Let's go over the price of my tent now, right? So this is the Game website. All right, I also have a Campmaster tent like that, the 320, and there's other ones, bigger ones, smaller ones. So this is the one that I have. This Campmaster Instant Cabin 6-person tent. At the time, it was exactly the same price, 2,499 Rand. But there are other tents that you could buy. Let's see what. There's another Campmaster Camp 5. Let's have a look at some of the tents that are on sale. Macro has various sizes, various prices, and so on. So Game and Macro, they mostly have Campmaster, which I've always seen there. Reason why I bought it is because it's convenient. There's always a Game that you can find. There's always a Macro somewhere that's convenient and easy. So this is the Outdoor Warehouse website. Let's see, they have canvas tents, yeah, and other like tech fiber range as well. So I know Game, Macro, Outdoor Warehouse has tents. There's probably other places, even like you can buy online. So different prices, different sizes, and so on. Same thing. I know that a canvas tent is better than my tent, but normally it requires more than one person to set up. So that's why I chose the tent that was more easier. And as you can see, the canvas tents are a lot more expensive. It's like it's about double the price that I paid. So when I was like looking online for a tent to buy, I did see the one at Game, this one. I saw a tent on the Outdoor Warehouse that was very similar to my tent. It's this one here, Natural Instincts Instant 6-person tent. But if you see the price, it was okay. The normal price is 3,499. It's now on a special, say 500, 2,999. When I was looking for it, it was also 3,499. It was the normal price. And if you compare it to the one that's on the Campmaster one that was at Game, it was 1,000 Rand less. So if you're going to be saving 1,000 Rand, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't care what color the tent was. So in terms of the quality of my tent, I've had it for around 7 months now, and I've used it, I guess, about a dozen times. And the only issue I had with it was not actually the tent's problem, but one day when I was lowering it down and closing it up to move, I tore one part of the tent. So I found it easier that you could unclip those little hooks there, and when you lower, like closing the tent up, it closes a lot easier. And if I had done that, I probably wouldn't have gotten the tent torn. But I just sewed it up by myself. I set the tent up, pushed the needle in, and then I had to go inside and turn it around and go, like a loop. I did that stitching myself. It was months ago that I did that stitching, and it's still working fine. I even used the tent in the rain and there was no water coming in, so that was fine. In terms of quality of the tent that I have, using it the amount of times that I did, it's good. It's fine. It does what it's supposed to do. And I even saved 1,000 Rand by choosing this one here instead of the one that was on the Outdoor Warehouse one. So that's for tents. I paid 2,499 for mine, right? As I said, I know there's better tents out there, but for my purposes and my budget, I just chose that one. So inside the tent, I use a air mattress, which I also bought from Game. It was the Campmaster queen size. It came with a pump, manual pump, and a pillow, but I don't use the pillow or the manual pump. When I bought it, it was $4.99, so it's I think it was special at the time, 100 Rand off. Now it's $5.99, and I also bought an electric pump, so I won't have to be. That queen size airbed takes a long time to pump up if you use it using the manual pump. So I bought an electric pump, and it usually pumps it up in like 2 minutes maybe. But you need electricity, obviously. And when I go to places that I don't have electricity or they don't have electricity points, I have to use the manual pump. And I also use a mummy sleeping bag, which I also got from Game. The price of it now is $449. I got all my gear from Game. Reason being, as I said before, convenience. Not because it's the best, or I know there's a better stuff out there, but convenience wise, and I've used it for quite a few times, and it's still, everything is in perfect working condition. I also bought some other stuff like a table and stuff. I think that was about 400 Rand. And I bought these bins that I keep all my stuff in. That I bought from Builders, I think. Those bins I use for all my cooking stuff, and like camping lights and this and that and electrical stuff and whatever. So that's the gear that I have. So now let's talk about the prices of the campsites that I go to. So because I'm doing solo camping, I only pay for one person, but it ranges from around 400 to, could be like 400, 300, some places could be a bit less. The cheapest site that I've ever been to there's actually two. One was the Protea Hotel in the Caribbean Beach. That's where I did the camping at a hotel video. And the other one was the Bluff Eco Park. I think they were both around just 100 Rand a night per person. Normal other camping sites range from 300, 250, sometimes 400. The most I've ever paid was when I went to AfriCamps. I paid, I think it was over 1,200 Rand, but that's not like traditional camping. That's more of glamping. It was a tent, and it was its own tent, and you just go in there and it's got showers, and it's a glamping. It's not traditional camping. So that was the most I ever paid. But generally it ranges between 300, 250, maybe 400, depending where you go. And the cheapest were those two. So now let's talk about food. I try to generally make something when I'm camping, but sometimes I buy stuff. Like if I'm late or I'm in a hurry, I might just go to a restaurant that's close and I just get something. But I always try to cook something. The prices on the food can vary depending on what you're cooking. What was the most I ever paid for? I can't really remember, but I think when I had the chops chutney, I think, yeah, that was like a couple 100 Rand. Like food for camping, you can like even just make cheese toast and it's fine. Maybe you just want to do something basic because you have like activities planned for the day, so you don't want to be really like spending a lot of time cooking. And yeah, it can vary depending on what you like and what you want. So now let's move on to traveling costs. Obviously, the cost of travel is going to depend on where you're going. If you're going somewhere that's like half an hour away from home, it's going to cost less. If you're going somewhere that's hours away from home, it's like fuel costs, and some roads I use have toll, so I'll have to pay the toll price and whatever. So traveling also can vary depending where you're going and how far, what type of vehicle you have. So now, since we are traveling, let's talk about vehicle. So I have a Polo Vivo, which is basically a runaround car, city car, just point A to point B, like a daily driver car. Not supposed to be used as like a camping vehicle to go off-road and stuff like that. I've actually gotten stuck with my car like about 2 times. The last video, the one I was at Mutma, lucky I had help. Somebody had towed me out of the ditch that I got stuck in. The vehicle that I have, okay, I wouldn't recommend it unless you go into a campsite like close to the city and you got tarred roads and you're not going to be going anywhere off-road and stuff. But I'd like to get something else, but I'm not sure when. So probably something with 4-wheel drive, higher ground clearance and so on. But a normal city car I would not recommend for camping. I'll have to say the one good thing about camping is you buy all this gear, but the good thing is you get to keep it. You buy the tent, the sleeping bag, the air mattress, or whatever else you might need. You use it, and then when you're done, you get to keep it. It's not like when you go to a hotel, you pay to stay the night, and then you don't take the hotel with you the next day. You have to leave everything that's there. You might steal the soap or whatever. There's shampoo. Yeah, I also do that sometimes. It's cheaper, obviously, once you get the equipment that you need, like the gear and stuff, and you get to keep it. As compared to a hotel, you just stay the night, even though it's comfortable. You pay a higher price, and then when you leave, you're left with nothing except that night stay. Whereas the tent, you get to keep it as long as you maintain it, keep it clean. So that's one good thing about camping. Like, you know, these fun experiences and adventure and so on, and you get to keep the gear when you're leaving. So you can do camping again and again and again and again and so on. I guess that's it for this video. I'm not sure what other stuff you might want to know from me. I'm not the world's best camper. I sort of wing it. I just go places and try new stuff and just use whatever gear that I have. Let me know of some places that maybe you'd like me to go to, and that's a nice camping area. I live in the city called Durban, so if it's not far from here, like a couple hours away, would be fine. But I plan on going further out, but in time. And if you're wondering about where I am, I'm actually in my room. And this background I put together because I started a new YouTube channel. It's a reaction channel, but it has nothing to do with camping. It's more like funny stuff and reacting, and sometimes I try different food stuff out. Tasting some Kit Kats. I didn't even know that there were 5 different Kit Kats. I'm going to be tasting some Doritos. I also saw at the store that there is a flaming hot masala flavored Doritos. And yeah, you can check it out if you'd like to, but it has nothing to do with camping. Yeah, so this is my bedroom anyway. Use this setup for my reaction channel. So that channel is called Sumi Reacts. If you enjoy camping, please consider subscribing to this channel. I go to different places. Sometimes I cook different food. Sometimes I buy, sometimes I cook. But I'm trying to do like different things in every video. So if you enjoy camping, consider subscribing, and I will see you all in the next video.